Welcome, traveler. You found your way to a quiet corner of the past, a place where history breathes softly and time moves slowly. Tonight, we step into a world long gone, but never lost. Not through battles or kings, but through the soft rhythms of daily life. An inn, a fire, a bed prepared for rest. Let your thoughts drift. Let the day slip away. And as the candle burns low, let us begin this gentle story from another time. Before the village stirs, before the sun fully touches the stone walls, the innkeeper opens their eyes to silence. The air is cool, the kind of cool that settles gently on the skin, neither sharp nor biting, but simply present. The fire has long since faded to a cold pile of ash. Wrapped in a woolen shawl, the innkeeper kneels, gathering straw and twigs from a wicker basket. They work without words, just rhythm. Flint and steel in hand, the first spark, then another. A faint thread of smoke curls, barely there, until it takes, and the fire is born again. The hearth is the heart of the house, not just for warmth, but for time. It keeps the rhythm of the day. The fire's light dances on pewter mugs lined along the wall. One by one, the mugs are lifted, wiped clean with a linen cloth. Each carries its own story, scars from past nights, lip stains from old laughter. A simple broom made from birch twigs and cord is drawn from its place beside the door. The innkeeper begins to sweep. There's a quiet peace in the sound of sweeping, a soft rasp across stone, a gentle brush of leaves and straw. The room breathes again. Outside, the well waits. The innkeeper wraps themselves tightly and steps into the pale morning mist. Their breath curls like smoke. The rope creaks as it lowers, and the bucket descends into darkness. Then, a splash, hollow and deep. Cold, clear water is pooled up by steady hands. Back inside, the innkeeper pours the water into a wide clay basin. Hands are washed. The day will begin clean. On the long table, yesterday's bread waits. Hard around the edges now, but warmable. Enough for a simple morning. In the pot, last night's pottage is stirred. Lentils, onions, carrot. Not grand, but sustaining. A touch of salt, a dash of thyme. Outside, a crow calls. Inside, the cat stirs. The innkeeper lights the oil lamp hanging above the door. The scent of smoke, bread, and herbs begins to fill the inn. The walls, the beams, the floor. They all absorb it. It becomes part of the place. Outside the door, footsteps echo faintly in the distance, a cart perhaps, but within these walls, stillness holds a little longer. The hearth is warm now. The mugs are ready. The fire breathes, and so does the inn. The day begins, not in haste, but in calm. The hearth is steady now, glowing amber beneath the blackened iron pot. The air inside the inn smells of warm barley and smoke. It is mid-morning, and the road has begun to speak. Far off, hooves gently drum the earth. Not a gallop, not haste, just the slow rhythm of a tired horse. The sound draws closer, and then silence. The door opens. Wooden hinges creak softly. The traveler removes their hood, hair damp from morning dew. They are neither noble nor beggar, just tired. The innkeeper says little, a nod, a glance, and gestures to a bench near the hearth, where warmth and rest always begin. The traveler sits. Their shoulders fall with quiet relief. No questions, no stories, not yet. Only silence and warmth. The innkeeper moves slowly, methodically, A ladle dips into pottage. A piece of bread is sliced. Not too thick, not too thin. It is enough. The plate is set before the guest with a nod. The table is worn smooth by years of elbows, mugs, and candle stubs. It holds no ceremony, only welcome. The traveler eats slowly, not hunger alone, but comfort. The kind that comes from warmth and knowing you are, for now, safe. Outside, the village breathes. A blacksmith hammers in the distance, faint, slow strikes. A dog barks once, then quiet again. The innkeeper returns with a basin of water, a cloth, a towel, the silent offer of clean hands. The traveler murmurs thanks, not loudly, just enough, then sips from the mug set by their side, honeyed water with herbs, simple and sweet. Their eyes close for a moment, just a moment, not to sleep, but to be still, to let the road fall behind them. The innkeeper steps away, quietly. They do not speak unless needed. They've done this for years. They know how to read the weary, when to offer bread, when to offer silence, when to disappear altogether. The room feels safe. Nothing is demanded here, no tale told, no coin exchange just yet. Only the rhythm of fire and food and time. The traveler remains seated. Outside, footsteps pass. A child giggles. A wheel creaks. But inside, there is only breath and peace. A bench. A bowl. A blanket folded on the bed upstairs. The first guest has come. And the day, quietly, continues. The fire crackles in a steady rhythm. Its heat hums through the stone walls, softening the air as the morning wanes. The light outside turns golden. The traveler sleeps upstairs now, boots removed, a wool blanket drawn to their chest. Below, the innkeeper returns to their rhythm. Breadcrumbs are swept once more from the floor. Ashes shifted slightly to keep the heat even. The pot stirred again, though no one watches. Water is fetched from the basin. The table wiped with damp linen. Not dirty, just used. The kind of use that feels like purpose. From the corner, a cracked jug is lifted. The innkeeper checks for leaks. It still holds. Good enough for oats or ale. Beside the fire, the cat stretches. Not a wild cat, but not tame either. It belongs to no one, and yet it is always here. The innkeeper opens the back door. The garden waits, silent and sunlit. Herbs hang from pegs, rosemary, thyme, sage. From a low shelf, sacks are lifted. Barley, dried beans, oats. Fingers dip inside to feel their weight, their dryness. No mold, no spoilage. A small success. Near the hearth, the innkeeper begins brewing ale. Not grand casks, just a small pot. Malted barley steeped in warmth, sweetened with honey. A thin cloth is soaked in warm water and hung across the doorframe. It keeps the dust out and the heat in. A wooden stool is carried to the back wall. There, the innkeeper begins mending linen, shirt sleeves, and bedsheets. Each stitch is slow, purposeful. The thread slips through with a tiny whisper, over and over. It is not perfect, but it holds. The sun climbs higher. Outside, the village bustles, but in here, all is steady. The inn is both a home and a rhythm. From upstairs, a soft creak. The traveler stirs, but the innkeeper does not pause. There is time for them when the thread is tied. By the fire, a kettle sings, not loudly, just enough to say, the water is ready. A cup of chamomile is brewed, not for a guest, but for the innkeeper themselves. In these quiet hours, the work continues. Not hurried, not idle. The kind of work that fills a room with meaning. Midday passes gently. No loud bells, no fanfare. Just the soft breath of chores completed, and those still waiting. The sun begins to dip behind the hills. Its golden light stretches across rooftops, growing longer, softer. Inside the inn, shadows return. The traveler remains upstairs, resting still. Down below, the innkeeper lights a new candle. Short and stumpy, but it will do. With the fire banked for evening, the innkeeper gathers fresh kindling. Just enough to keep the warmth steady, no more. The table is wiped again, mugs arranged once more. Not because they're dirty, but because ritual has its place. From a wall peg, a lantern is taken down. It swings gently with each step, a soft, golden eye in the growing dark. The innkeeper walks the hallway slowly, checking the room above, not to disturb, just to ensure that the blankets are tucked, that the candle is low. Downstairs, the firelight flickers against the window panes. Outside, the sky has turned to violet. On the hearth, a pot of herbs simmers, not for food, but for scent. Lavender, mint, and a pinch of dried rose. A new loaf is pulled from the oven. It is small, the crust uneven, but it smells of care. A cloth is folded, a chair is adjusted. The small signs of someone preparing for company, whether it arrives or not. The door creaks in the wind, though no one enters. The inn listens. The inn waits. Outside, a lone voice calls from down the lane. A cartwheel turns. A gate closes. Then silence again. Upstairs, the traveler turns in their bed. A dream, perhaps, or simply the quiet of a place where sleep is safe. The innkeeper returns to their bench by the fire. Their hands are still, their eyes closed. There are no more tasks tonight. Nothing pressing, nothing loud. Only breath and warmth. The evening deepens. The fire grows tired, and so does the keeper of the inn. Night has fully arrived. The kind of night that doesn't rush in, but drapes gently across rooftops and stone like a wool blanket. Inside, the fire is now low, just glowing embers. No longer roaring, just remembering. The innkeeper walks the room one last time. A mug is turned upright, a chair pushed in, a shutter latched with a wooden pin. The common room is empty now. Not abandoned, just fulfilled. Outside, the road is silent. No hooves, no voices, only the wind weaving gently between buildings and trees. The innkeeper lights one final candle, the one on the stairs. It marks the path to rest and nothing more. They climb slowly, hand brushing along the rail, each step grown slightly, not from age, but from memory. In their room, the window is cracked just slightly. Cool air drifts in. Night sounds, soft and far away. Their cloak is folded, their shoes placed beside the bed. They sit in silence, eyes closed, hands resting open in their lap. Downstairs, the fire gives one last sigh. A shifting log, a soft crack, then stillness again. The village sleeps. The innkeeper sleeps. And the inn holds them all gently, like a deep breath before the dream begins. There is nothing more to do, no more to say, only to rest and to be held by the quiet. Let the fire fade. Let the doors close. Let the world dim. And in that silence, rest.